They put them out to work, to labor. So when you first come in this truth, you got to expect to labor and to work, man. And that takes up your time. That's another thing. You gotta take those sacrifices. You got, this one nigga, that just, came out with that bullshit. Man, the brother's taking up my Saturdays, and I ain't got no job, and it's hard for me to make an honest living. Like, what? First off, we all have to work. Scripture say you don't work, you don't eat. It speaks about labor, working with our hands. And on top of that, this truth speaks about the Romans 12:1 real fast. You have to make a sacrifice, man. When you go to camp and you have these different things, camp days and days of getting up with brothers. Sometimes brothers in different camps do conference calls. Sometimes you have to actually take up an hour and a half. You might have to cut out whatever you wanted to get into to get in the midst of things, man. Because we're building and establishing governments. Whenever Esau deals with the other different governments, when they have summits and meetings, and it's 17 chairs, them 17 chairs are going to be filled. There ain't going to be no call-outs. The prime minister of so-and-so country, of France, so to speak, said he couldn't make it. His wife was sick in the hospital. Or he had to go to his child's Cubs game.
Soccer game.
Yeah, the soccer game. His child made it to the what's the main the main game, so to speak.
Playoffs.
The playoffs.
Championship. Yeah,
the championships. And he's not able to make it. Sorry, we have somebody else to fill in. No, I don't work like that. Whenever you're attentive and when you're a businessman, you got to deal with business. This is business. Yahweh Shah said, did you not know I was about my father's business? And as a businessman, you have to be appointed. You have to actually be present. Because there's sometimes situations where you can't be. That's the honest truth, of course. Brothers be having work. We understand that. But it's time to be present in the work, man. The work in this work. This is your real work. This is what you're going to work to get out of this kingdom. This is your golden ticket. All right? You got that? And after that, I'll probably go back to this and probably close.
All right, this is Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Yeah, and it says to present yourself as a living sacrifice. Meaning, hey, what can I do for the camp? That should be the spirit that you come in. You got men to come in that spirit. Hey, just let me know what I need to do as a servant of the Lord. All right, y'all brothers need anything? How can I add? How can I add to this faith? When you come in, you want to be an asset, not a liability. Some men that come in being a damn liability, man. Coming in and bringing all kinds of demons like, damn, we got to deal with this nigga. This dude is tripping, man. And that's how men get cast out. Or after a while, a man will be in the truth for 2.5 years and he start, spazzing out. Now he got all kinds of demons. He showed all his cards that he just Satan, man. Crept in unawares. And the spirit always show those guys cards, especially around this time. This is the time of the Passover, man.
Because they ain't purging.
Hey, that's why we said that earlier. Pray, man. Go to the Lord in your closet. It tells you that in Matthew. That's one of the main things Yahweh told the disciples. All right, go to the closet and don't be a man of many words, praying in the public. All right, when you pray in this manner. And the Lord lays out the Abba now.
Quick to the point.
Yep, quick to the point. You say your Abba now, your Shemaiahs, your anointed prayer, send up the curses. Pray whatever, prayers brothers present and things of that nature. But you have to do these things if you want to grow and you want to actually last for the longevity in this faith, man. There's certain requirements. Hey, that's just a fact. That's the fact. When brothers was talking about boxing or whether you in a business or anything, it's certain layouts and guidelines that certain people actually see and they actually move accordingly to actually reach the farther distance than the average. Just like with animals, even prey. When prey actually, are actually in the whatever environment they in, they actually know the layout. They know where lions is coming from. They understand where actually apex predators might come from, potential danger is coming from. And they know how to move on that web. It tells you that in Proverbs. All right, to give subtlety to the simple. So I just say all that just to say, for brothers that come in, you got to learn how to move, man. Because it's a right way. It's one right way, and it's 1,000 wrong ways to move in this truth, man.
Yeah, kind of.
You got a little bit more on that?
I'll jump to verse 2.
Okay.
And be not conformed to this world.
It says to be not conform. Conform means to be with form. And if there's a lot of brothers too, even coming in the truth, if you're not big on definitions and things, you gotta get in the habit of these things, man. We come in this truth as students. As a student, you need tools. And if you work at a construction job, some jobs you gotta get your tape measure, you gotta have your hard hat, you gotta have your hammer, you gotta have so and so drill, you gotta have all these things. If you ain't got them and you don't come up to the job with them, you ain't gonna work the job. You ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here.
Yeah, it's like it.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
I was saying, like, as you progress more and more in this truth, more is going to be required of you. Like Apostle Tahar said, every man should know, about the herbs, about certain medicines. You shouldn't be going to go get some NyQuil when you got a cough. Certain foods throughout the scriptures, but you shouldn't be going to McDonald's, all right, trying to get a number 2 with extra cheese on it. So it's just certain things that you have to do once you get into the camp. Once you start taking instruction, you keep your head down, you start learning things, there's going to be more things that's required of you.
You still smaller?
Come. Alright, Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
And be not conformed, but be transformed through the renewing of your mind. When you renew something, it's to make new again. That's why when you come in this truth, you come in as a new man. Everything you knew, if you're 35, you got to put out all that bullshit, man. And all that is garbage, so to speak. Now, of course, you learn certain values from the world. That's true. But when you come in the truth, you got to come in as a new man. It's not what you did know, it's what you're learning and what you're going to know from this time forward. When you first come in the truth on day one, you're a 1 day old baby, man. All right, and if you've been in for 5 years, you're 5 years old. You've been in 10 years, you're 10 years old. You've been in 20 years, you're 20 years old in the faith. That's just how it works.
Not the case all the time.
Yeah, of course, like it tells you, John 6:63, the Most High quickened the spirit. All right, so some men get extra, enhanced, so to speak. But for the most part, from a position of humility too, we all are still young men, man. I say that for myself too. I haven't been around that long. You got brothers that's been around 15, 20 plus years, So you always gotta stay humble. That's a major key too. Always coming from a position of humility. It don't matter if you've been in the truth for 12 years, 13 years. You still gotta humble yourself. Alright? You got men that'll be around for a number of years. And this is mainly for young men too that's looking for the longevity of this thing. You got men that'll come around and they start, getting proud and shit, man. Start talking to men that's just now coming in like they some niggas in the world. Like, bro, you gotta know how to deal with these younger men. Alright? And of course, too, in the spirit, even young men, if that does happen to you in the faith, that's another tip. If it's some stuff that just seems like it ain't right, some situations don't be. But hey, you gotta let the spirit work it out. Pray to Yahweh Shema Shah. Hey, the scriptures tell you that in Matthew. Pray for them that despitefully use you and say all manner of evil against you. These things you have to pray for. Be patient and endure. Alright, endurance is the key. You got some more?
No, I'm finished now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna end it with this scripture in Timothy. Y'all don't have anything? Y'all good? Okay, we can bring out what you got.
I'll read a quick hitter and then you can get what you got.
Okay.
This is Titus chapter 2 verse Titus chapter 2 verse 9. It says, exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters, and to please them well in all things, not answering again, not purloining, but showing all good fidelity, that they may adorn the doctrine of the Most High, our Savior in all things. So yeah, this goes all back to when you first get in, man. Just follow the order of the camp, the respective camp that you're in, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come in trying to put on your big boy pants, put on a 36 waist when you 2 years old.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, growing to them big boys, man.
Looking foolish.
Yeah.
Foolish, man. So just be obedient. Follow the paths that the elders in your respective camps, also the apostles and elders have laid, man.
Yeah.
It's real easy.
It's really basic. Jake just like to make things complicated. You know.
That's why in Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, the Most High told Ezekiel that this is an impudent, stiff-hearted, rebellious house.
He said if I would have went to the heathens, they would have listened.
That's why I just did a video on it today. That's why Paul in Acts 13:46, him and Barnabas was like, since y'all won't be like this, we're gonna turn to the Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
don't be one of them stiff-hearted, impudent, retarded, dotard Israelites who want to be rebellious when you come into the camp. It's just real easy.
Yeah.
You should just want to be quiet and learn from these men.
Mm-hmm.
You should want to.
Yeah.
I know I did when I came in. I still do.
Yeah. It's so much easier like that when you playing under the radar, man. You know, the Spirit has it where we Most High making us like spiritual detectives and assassins, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you get under training in the CIA and a detective, they teach you how to move in the shadows, how to be there and not there at the same time, how to reserve yourself. You know, you don't have a ex CIA agent being a nigga drunk in the streets, man. That shit don't happen, man. They've been training and they've been developing the craft of subtlety for a number of years, and they know how to move. They know how to be at places, and you wouldn't even know they was in the CIA. Or if they are doing certain things like that, it's putting on a ploy. So, you know, I just say all of that, which we all just to say, man, just you got to use wisdom. And I just want to end it with this last scripture. Y'all brothers good?
Good.
Okay, this is 1 Peter 2:2. I'll start at verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and evil speaking. Well, that's another thing too. Coming in the truth, don't be envious, man. Of course, brothers are on a higher level than you because we've been around for a number of years. You know, so you actually go through that same path, and that's how you grow up. All right. And evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. And that's what it's all about, just taking the sincere milk. And a lot of men don't want to take the milky route because they're not sincere. And the Spirit always shows that. Because if you were sincere, you would drink the sincere milk. You would deal with the basics. Like the brother said earlier, being a big fundamentalist. And that's how you last, you know, to the end. All right. Peter spoke about that. If you do these things, you know, adding, faith and charity, brotherly kindness, amongst other things. If you do these things, it said, it shall make you not fruitful nor unbearing in the word of Yahweh Shah. But he that lacketh these things is blind and can't see afar off. So you have to stick with the basics, man. That's all I want to say. You know, I don't want to make it too long, you know, but, you know, you had anything? Or you good? Yeah, that's all we have for you, Akim. You know, just something for brothers to really think on and ponder on. You know, a couple tips and guidelines for you to last in this thing, man, to endure unto the end. You know, so think of these things, and above all, pray for faith. Fast. Scriptures say give attention to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. All right, so you know we want to end it by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakar, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.